Hello, hello. Thanks for joining us on the Nikki Maduro Show. I'm Nikki Maduro. She is Bay Area Audiocaster of the Year. Kim McAllister, everybody. Let's give a round of applause and a cocktails and news cheers to you, my friend. I'm going to sip first because it's bad luck.
You look super summery.
Thank you. You look like a winner, dude. I am so proud of you. Can I just take a moment to praise Kim McAllister?
Oh, nice.
I know she keeps saying it was just this small group of people that were just voting. No, you are like literally one of the hardest working people on YouTube. Kim McAllister not only does this show once a week, she does the After Party Live, which is what got her the award, and she does Mark Thompson's show. This woman is amazing, and she needs to take her flowers and put the crown on her head because you are amazing. I am so proud of you. I'm so honored that you're part of my show as well. And I can't wait. And hopefully I can go see you get the award. But I am just so very proud. You deserve this and so much more, Kim, because you are so hardworking. And I love you.
Thank you.
And it is just, I'm just so proud. When I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm so excited. So yay to Kim McAllister. And if you're watching the show and you do not follow the After Party Live, what are you doing? So go follow her show, check it out, find out why she won this award because she's awesome. So,
by the way, thanks to Clark Reed for the nomination.
Oh yes. And to our friend Clark Reed, who we worked at KGO with, he started this whole ball rolling, but you put in the hard work. People love you, Kim, and I hope that you know that because that's what this award shows. And it's just a small token of how amazing you are. So I'm so proud of you. So to Kim McAllister, the queen audiocaster of the Bay Area. All right, you guys.
It's the very first one. It's the inaugural award. So that's pretty cool.
It should be named after you. That means it should be named the Kim McAllister Audiocaster of the Year Award, right? The inaugural one means the best. You started it all.
I don't know. Maybe like when I'm dead, they'll name it after me or something, or it'll come with a memorial scholarship. I
don't even care. I think there's nobody that I know that deserves it more than you. I think that you work so hard. You put so much into the shows that you're on, not only yours. And like I'm just so proud of you. And I'm so proud to call you a friend and also my partner in this show. And so, exactly. Wave that in front of your daughter. Show your daughter what you can do. You know what I mean? Not that Julie doesn't know that you're also just amazing. So, very excited. Very excited.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's do our show. 4th of July is coming up. We will touch on that. Big question to all of you. Oh, yeah, and please give a thumbs up. Let's get the business out of the way real quick. Thumbs up for the show, please. We are 100% crowdfunded. And, now that I have the Audiocaster of the Year award, I mean, we have to support this show so we can see her morning, noon, and night. All the ways to support the show, of course, are in the show notes. We love PayPal because they don't take a cut. But if you want to become a monthly Patreon subscriber, please do that as well. Or you can always donate during the super chat, super stickers. If you do it during the live show, of course, we interact with your comment live on the show. All right, guys. There was an influx this week, right, of the final Supreme Court rulings. Some obviously disappointed Donald Trump, the birthright citizenship question. On one hand, very happy that it was upheld. Someone made this amazing comment, and I didn't even think about it. The world, if you guys have been in a hole, obviously the U.S. men's soccer team passed their knockout round. They're moving on. They'll be playing in Seattle on Monday, 5:00, if you want to watch the game. One of the players,
I heard that. I heard
that was my husband
whooping and hollering back there.
One of the players that was on the I think scored the first goal on what was it? What day was that? Wednesday? Yesterday? Sorry, my phone needs to shut up. Was actually he was able to play on the men's team because his family, his parents, who were from London, came to the United States when his mom was pregnant with him. And we wouldn't let him fly home because she was so heavily pregnant that she ended up having him here in Brooklyn.
He's from what Mark told me earlier, he's the best one on the team.
Exactly. So birthright citizenship helped get us further in the World Cup.
There you go.
I've said this before, like the World Cup just goes to show that if the governments would just get out of the way, people really do get along. You know what I mean? Like everyone's cheering and dancing. And so this idea of birthright citizenship, I'm glad that question is over, that it's been maintained, but the conservative fight against it is not over. Now, according to, I believe this was Politico, Shortly after the court's ruling, the Justice Department released a memo urging U.S. attorneys to work with the Department of Homeland Security to, quote, prioritize the investigation and prosecution of birth tourism schemes. It said thousands of foreigners travel to the U.S. each year under false pretenses to give birth and secure citizenship for their child. Estimates are uncertain, of course. But based on a review of U.S. Census data, up to 26,000 babies born in the U.S. every year could be attributed to women coming to the U.S. solely to give birth. It's a fraction of the more than 3.5 million yearly births in the U.S. The memo said while most cases could be prosecuted under visa fraud, attorneys should also look for other federal statutes, including wire fraud, money laundering, unlawful use of means of identification, identity theft, and conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud. It builds on the DHS effort announced this spring to root out networks that help pregnant foreigners come to the U.S. to give birth. Thoughts on the idea of prosecuting and cracking down on birth tourism, not birthright citizenship, birth tourism, which we know does exist. Thoughts, Kim McAllister?
I want to know how many U.S. citizens a year are born because specifically of tourism. And could you have charged this soccer player's mom with this?
Not if she was trying to get home, I would imagine.
Well,
if she's trying to leave, right?
I mean, it seems like they'll charge anybody with anything. I don't know. I feel like, is it a drop in the bucket? Or is it a significant number?
Well, that's going to be hard to figure out. And that's why they said, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like estimates are uncertain. I will say this. It doesn't seem like a hard problem to fix. And maybe I'm naive, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But when you come to this country to visit, you're only supposed to be here for a short time, correct? So I would imagine that if you're here and you, like the soccer player's mom, you would know that the woman was pregnant. Okay. So that's one. Let's put that. So obviously pregnant women. And then if you're here for a long time where you are pregnant, but they don't know, they can't tell, then you obviously need a visa or something to stay for an extended period of time. So why not just have in like the fine print of visiting, if pregnant, you relinquish U.S. citizenship. Like you're here to visit, you're here for whatever, but you are on the understanding that any child you bring in is not a U.S. citizen if you're just visiting. Now, if you're moving here and have a child and plan on staying and going through the process of becoming an American citizen and then give birth, birthright citizenship should be triggered. But it doesn't seem like it's that difficult of a problem to fix. And yes, if you are finding the money to these organizations that are bringing people to give birth and then go back home, that seems like an easy trace to me. Like, where did you live? How long were you here? Was it solely while you were pregnant? No, you can't. Your child can't become a U.S. citizen.
I don't know why my mind doesn't go to a plane full of pregnant Chinese women that have paid hundreds of thousands to come here for this. The people that can afford it, that pay for a trip to here because they want their children to be able to go to college here. And so they give them, citizenship by paying for these trips. My mind goes to I don't know, is it, maybe I've seen more than one movie where you see the coyotes, people that lead the groups of Latino immigrants across the desert in these dry, harsh conditions, and they put their lives at risk. And there's a pregnant lady and she's, walking for miles and miles and putting her life in danger, all because she wants her baby to have U.S. citizenship because she knows it's a better life for her child. And I want her to have it. Maybe I'm the most bleeding heart of the bleeding hearts, but I want her to have that. I want her baby to have that. I want her efforts to be rewarded with a better life for her child.
Right. And I feel you on that. I think that anybody that risks their life because they're escaping something, but I feel like that's more the asylum avenue, right? Like you're seeking asylum, so you'd be able to stay in the country longer. My mind does not go there. Mine goes to the stories that we have seen ad nauseum over the years. Yes, of Chinese immigrants, but other people as well. And it is a racket. Like I think it was Phineas saying, it is. There are homes that house them for a certain period of time, and they get their U.S. citizenship, they get their birth certificate, and then now they have an anchor baby or whatever, right? I think that that's an easy fix. I think that is the problem that I think, and I'm not going to say everybody can agree on, but I don't think that's right. And you guys know I'm a bleeding heart liberal, but I don't think it's right to abuse what the birthright citizenship was founded on, right? Does that make sense? I think that people are looking for a loophole because it matters if you're an American citizen. You get a lot of benefits if you're an American citizen. And I can understand that. You can invest easier. You can buy things in America easier. All of these things that make people upset and give people pause about the whole thing. I think we could fix that part. I think that we can.
I have 2 quotes I want to read you.
Okay.
All right. I think ending birthright citizenship in any way would kind of go against the tenets of what I think America is about. But let me read you this quote from a letter from 1783 from George Washington. He wrote, "The bosom of America is open to receive not only the opulent and respectable stranger, but the oppressed and persecuted of all nations and religions. We're here to receive the richest and the poorest. Whoever you want to be, if you want to be an American badly enough, we're going to open our doors to you." All right. So that's from George Washington. The next one is from a letter in 1855 that Abraham Lincoln wrote. He said, "Our progress in degeneracy appears to me to be pretty rapid. As a nation, we began by declaring that all men are created equal. We now practically read it as all men are created equal except Negroes. When the know-nothings get control, it will read all men are created equal except Negroes and foreigners and Catholics. When it comes to this, I should prefer emigrating to some country where they make no pretense of loving liberty, to Russia, for instance, where they make where despotism can be taken pure and without the base alloy of hypocrisy." So are we hypocrites to say, our bosom is open, lift the lamp by the golden door, we're a nation of a melting pot, celebrating that, while at the same time closing the door on people that would want to come here for whatever reason?
Well, I don't think it's hypocritical, and this is why. One, you're quoting things from a time that is nothing like the time that we are right now, right? Geopolitical issues have created it so there's financial reasons for people to want to be in the United States that did not exist and probably weren't even on the mind of people that wrote like George Washington and others, right? The other thing is birth tourism is a specific thing. It is, I don't necessarily want to be an American. I want someone in my family to be an American. That's different than someone that's trying to come here for the sole purpose of contributing or seeking asylum, right? If we don't, and I'm going to sound like a conservative right now, but if we don't have any rules, right, about what and who our Constitution covers, then why have one, right? Like I do not believe that birth tourism was an idea that was even thought of when birthright citizenship was created, right? So it was having to do with slaves and things like that. It wasn't this coordinated, monetized, exploited effort to make sure that you have an anchor baby. Like that is not the spirit of birthright citizenship, in my opinion. And so I think, and also under the umbrella of, I always try to see, what is the compromise here? I think cracking down on birth tourism is the birthright citizenship compromise that we really need to look at, right? Like also for people to say, oh, there's no borders, there's no this, there's no rules. Yes, there are rules. And this is one of the ways in which we can show that there are rules. Like if you want to visit America, you can visit America. If you want to visit America and you're pregnant, okay, but we need to make sure that you're not doing it under the pretense of trying to make that baby an American citizen. You just want to come to America to visit, do whatever, see the sights, blah, blah, blah. If not, then that's a different thing. If you want to have your baby here to become an American, then there is a way for you to do that. You know what I mean? Like, and you have to go through that path.
I guess I look at it and I think, has it really been that big of a problem?
Yeah, I would say, I would say if you find rackets, yes.
I don't know, because I mean, here we are in America living our life. And I mean, other than the threat that democracy is going to be ended and the threat that, our constitution is being trampled, things are all right. We're going by day to day. Everything's okay. If a plane load of Chinese ladies have citizenship for their kids, like, it's not hurting me. I'm fine with it. Have your citizenship. And guess what? Your kid gets to come here and go to college, if that's what was your end goal, and stay here for years. I don't know. I guess I just feel like it's one of those things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It seems more about hatred to me than whether there's a real problem with it.
Okay. Your guys' thoughts, let us know in the comments. I just feel like I'm torn a little bit on this idea of, are you truly an American if this is the way that you became an American? Because it just seems devious. If that is what you did, if you are here and you just happen to, give birth, like I know that there are different stories on how people become American citizens whose parents, don't live in this country. And I'm not including everybody under this umbrella. I am specifically talking about the group of people who come here for one purpose and one purpose only. I am pregnant. I'm going to give birth on American soil because that's going to make my child an American citizen. I just think that there is a different pathway for people to do that follows more of the rules and the spirit of what we meant. Yeah. At the same time, I agree with you. We are a melting pot. I think it's something that we should be proud of. If anything, this world, again, going back to the World Cup, shows us this, right? I mean, look at the people that just make up the U.S. men's soccer team. I mean, it is filled with American-born and not American-born athletes.
That's right.
And that's amazing. That is amazing. And so I don't want to necessarily say no to all of that, but I don't like the criminal aspect of it. I don't. And it is a crime. It is a crime to bring people here. You're probably exploiting the family for money and what have you. I mean, I don't think that the people that are housing as many women as they want in these homes are necessarily not charging an arm and a leg. And maybe the families can afford it and it's not that big of a deal. It just does seem, again, like a racket.
Mama says, how many of you have ever met a person who's a product of birth tourism? For me, she said, it's 0.
Well, I mean, I don't think I would know. I don't think I would know.
No one has ever said, funny story, my mom came here just so I'd be a citizen.
No, but nobody's going to admit that either. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think anybody would just lead with that. They most likely would be like, my parents were immigrants and I was born here. No one's going to be like, yep, totally exploited the system. That was me. That was my birth. Like, no one's going to say that. Seems if immigrants have the money, they're welcome. If not wealthy, the child born is called an anchor baby. Oh yeah, look at the Trump family. I mean, technically, right? I mean, isn't that what Barron is?
Yeah.
It seems like a fake problem to me, Kevin says. Okay. Think many women are from Russia. Yeah, it's not just China. It's also, it's all around the world. There is a benefit of being an American citizen, having that social security card. It's instantly, you were born and you instantly are. That is so enticing. And you don't think that there are many groups that exploit that? Come on. You might not know anybody, but it is happening.
Don't know. Again, I would say how many plane loads a year? 1 plane load a day?
I have no. Exactly. You're right. Who knows the numbers?
Is it 5,000 babies a year? Like, I don't know what the significance of it is, but the harping on it seems definitely racist in nature to me. Louise says, please compare the projected cost of birth tourism versus the Iran war.
Oh,
Priorities,
I agree.
people.
Oh,
Neither
absolutely.
is good, but I'll trade the lost millions to kids born here versus billions in lost lives. Yeah.
There was a NBC News poll asking a question about, whether or not being U.S. born is important to being quote unquote truly American. They find a slim majority, 54%, say being born in the U.S. is important to being truly American, while 45% say it is not important. Overall, Americans rank several other traits as far more important to American identity. Being born in the U.S. was at the bottom of the list of traits, with more Americans saying 7 other traits were very or somewhat important. They include believing in the ideas of liberty and equality, voting in elections, being involved in your local community, speaking English, sharing American customs and traditions, believing in God, and being actively engaged in the political process by donating to or volunteering for a candidate for office or cause. Thoughts?
I agree. All of those things. And I know that immigrants that become American citizens have contributed greatly to this country. Whether you're being born here is just an easy way to get your citizenship, but it doesn't make you any less valuable to this country, whether you were born here or not. Mama says it's not like they're giving them healthcare, education, or food, right? I mean, I think that if you were born here because your mother came and wanted you to be an American citizen, and then you found yourself in dire straits like anybody else, you could sign up for our safety net programs, right? So I mean, perhaps, and maybe that's what they're saying. I can almost hear it. These people, they come here and, they take our citizenship by having a so-called anchor baby, and then they sign up for the welfare and the food stamps and the blah, blah, blah. I mean, we don't know the numbers. We don't know if that's true or whether
and
that's
I'm sure so many of them go to church and say, help the poor and the needy, right? But that's that. Thank you, Cindy, for the $10 donation. Go ahead, read it.
Cindy says, sad 5-4 ruling, with some attorneys saying the dissent lay out other ways to challenge the Constitution and birthright citizenship. So this fight is not over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and nice words. Thank you. And thank you for the
Cindy. Compliment. And Kim is number one.
Woo!
Exactly.
I saw this. Now, here's what doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Birthright citizenship is enshrined in the Constitution, right?
Yes.
It's in an amendment. And so it would seem to me that you can't just, as Trump is saying, well, Congress needs to pass a law to change it. You can't do that. You would have to amend the Constitution.
Which isn't going to happen.
Which they say is impossible, right? But here's this yahoo who says he is going to, his name is, I'll give you his real name. I mean, some yahoo is probably what he, what he deserves. But his name is, what is it? Oler? Yeah, he's a representative from wherever. And he wants to put a new law forward. Whoops.
Anchors Away, which really pushes
the Anchors Away Act.
Supreme Court, this idea. Look, if you're pregnant and you're from a foreign nation, you know what? It's time for Congress to pass a law to say you can't come here. You can't have a baby on U.S. soil and exploit this loophole.
And it's also on House Speaker Mike Johnson's radar.
We're looking at that. We need to address the issue as quickly and as efficiently as we can. Some are implying that or suggesting that it may require a constitutional amendment. And as you know, that is a large undertaking. But clearly, birthright citizenship has been abused.
Yeah. So how are you going to find out if these women are pregnant if they're not showing? This conservative party is obsessed with women's uteruses. You know what I mean? Like, my God. And they want to track pregnancies. It's always tracking the pregnancy. Like, give me a break. Nah, that's ridiculous.
I thought they loved babies. I thought they loved new life, fresh life being born in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, just not the brown babies?
No,
just not the foreign babies?
No. Oh. Yeah, you think they're really looking at the white babies? No. But yeah, exactly. It's like if you're pregnant, you're not welcome in the United States anymore, like at all. Like you know how hard and impossible that would be to enforce. It's like, sorry, you can't come to the United States. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, again, I think that my idea of just disclosure, like you are here, you are pregnant, but you are giving up your right to become your child's right to become a U.S. citizen if you give birth here. And if they're not willing to do it, then there's a different process for coming to the United States. Not saying you can't come, right? But then that's a different type of visa or something. I don't know.
By the way, that was Andy Ogles from Tennessee, who is presenting this Anchors Away Act He says,
Anchors away
we are
is so
literally, this is quote, we are literally going to be dropping anchors away, which pushes back against the Supreme Court. This idea that if you're pregnant and you're from a foreign nation, you know what? It's time for Congress to pass a law that says you cannot come here. You cannot have a baby on U.S. soil and exploit this loophole.
Good luck. Harry, thanks for the $5 donation. Another kamikaze bites the dust. Cheers, my friend. It's time for the IRS to collect from all those rich anchor babies. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't know. I also agree with the comment. Is this the biggest problem that America needs to solve? No, I do believe, and I agree with you. Obviously there are racist undertones with this entire effort, but at the same time, at a time when they're not going to give up the fight regarding birthright citizenship, some sort of control regarding, people that do come here, trying to end however big the racket might be, I think is a compromise. And that's where I'm going to leave it. You know what I mean? I think if you want to become an American citizen or want your children to become an American citizen, there is a path to do so. And if you are an organization that is trying to entice people to come to this country and exploit them by making them pay you large sums of money so that they can have an anchor baby, I think that that's wrong. I really do. I think that is whether it's a big problem or a small problem, I think it's a compromise that can be solved. That way, at least we're doing something about it. I don't know.
I mean, I think the bigger problem is people sneaking across the border and staying in this country when they know they're not supposed to, and breaking the law when they know that it's illegal, right? There are a lot of people who have been here for many, many years who have contributed to this country. And I think we have to say there's a moment in time, probably not with this president, but with some president, where we have to say, okay, if you did that, that's not good, but we understand that you've contributed in all these other ways. We know that you're part of the fabric of this country. There's a path to citizenship for you. You're not going to be deported. You don't have to live in fear because that's awful, right? And we know, we've talked on the show before about how we need people. We need people to work. We need people in jobs, and we're hurting now more because we are deporting all the workers of America, right? But there comes a time where you have to do that. And then maybe you have to get stricter on different laws at the border while still giving people the ability to come here when they feel that they're fleeing a threat, but also maybe better managing who stays once they cross the border. There's things that we need to get better at doing. I don't think anyone would disagree that we need to completely reevaluate our immigration law. But I just don't know that birthright citizenship is as much of a big a deal as the Republicans want to make it out to be.
Well,
I mean, these are people that already have citizenship, and that came here, maybe were born, maybe went back to the country, that they of their original origin, or maybe their family stayed. But for whatever reason, I just don't hear that I don't know. I just think it's another way to target people of other nationalities.
And again, remember, it doesn't serve the Republican Party to actually solve the immigration crisis. Similar to abortion and all these hot button issues. And I will say this for both sides, Democrats and Republicans, using these divisive issues keeps people in your political party, right? We're the party that believes in women's rights to choose, and we're the party that doesn't. You know what I mean? If we don't solve the immigration problem, then it's a continued problem we can campaign on. So there is no benefit for them solving this at all. Because they could have, remember, right before Trump was reelected, they had this bipartisan immigration bill that a lot of people loved. And Trump said, nope, I will call out against it. He wasn't even president. He was just running, and he blocked it because
he didn't want
to give the Democrats a win. Yeah. He didn't want Biden to sign it. Nope. So stop, I'm saying this to my conservatives, stop acting like this is the biggest issue when your president literally does not want to solve it at all. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's so infuriating.
Anchors Away Act. It's in the Constitution. What a bunch of buttheads.
I know. There were a bunch of other Supreme Court rulings. This is the one that's giving me a lot of pause. And this has to do with the fact that, 1 second, please. Okay. Hold on. I had YouTube up and I'm listening to myself. Okay. So this is the one about Trump having control over agencies. And
Right.
I'm going to play this first and then we'll discuss it.
Okay.
Shannon, stand by. John, your quick reaction now. Trump v. Slaughter has been in place since 1935. That's a victory for the Trump team. The question about whether or not he can fire someone on the Federal Reserve was turned down. And I don't know if that was based on how the judges felt about the president's power or whether or not that case itself had progressed long enough to determine guilt or innocence on behalf of Lisa Cook. How would you address that?
If you were to try to make the two cases fit together, one way to understand it is that the FTC case, Slaughter, is the culmination of a campaign by presidents going back to Ronald Reagan all the way through, all the presidents, all the way through to Trump, aided by really the Roberts Court has been on this for 20 years now, to try to end the practice of Congress of creating these independent powers within the executive branch, which are not under the control of the president. This decision is perhaps the most important decision about the operation of the government since 1935, as you said, Bill. That case is called Humphrey's Executor. No longer will there be an FTC, SCC, FC. All those agencies were designed by Congress to be outside the president's control. And the court says clearly that is inconsistent with the vesting by the founders of the executive power only in the president and none of these other.
So
now,
wait,
the way to understand the Cook
John,
case,
do they end up
yes,
being subsumed back into the Treasury Department or Commerce Department?
they're still going to be out there in existence. But the main point for Chief Justice Roberts and the 6 justices, and this one was a conservative 6 versus 3 liberals, unlike Cook, they're all going to be directly under the control of the president now.
Huh.
So it almost doesn't matter whether they're in the Treasury Department or in the State Department, because the president now can, right, give them orders and fire them if they don't obey.
That's crazy.
That makes the head of here, the Federal Trade Commission, which exercises enormous power over the economy, as fully accountable to the president as the Treasury Secretary is Scott Bessent. The point the court makes is because we elect the president. We don't elect any of these other people. So we elect the top of the executive branch, and then all these agencies underneath have to be accountable to someone that we, the voters, know, and we, the voters, can hold responsible. So now when the FTC screws up or the Federal Communication Commission tries to censor Fox hosts, presidents can't say, oh, I'm not responsible for that. I don't know what the head of that commission is doing. We, the people, are the ones who really benefit from this decision. And that was the founders' design. They did not anticipate 200-300 independent agencies running around the government, regulating as they like without the control, ultimately, of the voters.
Okay, so
That was a very interesting take on it, because that's not how I see it. How I see it is the president, and I'm going to also pull back a little bit. I'm going to say this first, then I'll pull back a little bit on it. I don't like the idea of quote unquote independent agencies having to be fearful of losing their job simply because, let's say, Donald Trump is unhappy with their decisions. Now, this is where I'm going to pull back a bit. If Donald Trump keeps firing people, it's not going to be a good look either. You know what I mean? So similar right now to who is it? Kevin Walsh with the FTC, right? He isn't doing what Donald Trump wants, right? Like Kevin Walsh is not doing what Donald Trump wants. I wanted to bring up this quote that he did. So am I right with Kevin Walsh? He is the Fed chairman, Kevin Warsh. Sorry. He's the new Fed chairman. Mm-hmm. He's not doing with interest rates what Donald Trump wants him to do. Right. So it's not as if just because Donald Trump puts in his person that things are going to happen the way Donald Trump wants to happen. But at the same time, you can't ignore pressure from the president. That's what pisses me off. It's like,
well, he could, if you don't want him to, if you are appointed by the president, you don't do what the president wants. The president then, according to this, new ruling, could turn around and say, you're not going to do what I want. You're out. Next guy. Nope. Yeah, you won't do it either. Next guy. right?
But see, that's the thing that I think won't play out as much as we think it will. Because again, how is that going to look? You put your guy in, because it's always a guy, right? Well, not always. I mean, Janet Yellen wasn't. But so you put your person in, and then all of a sudden they don't do what they want, and so that person's out. One, especially with the Federal Reserve Chairman or person, that's just disruptive. Like, you can't keep doing that. That's a problem. And it would be also your person that you're promoting, right? Like, the person would still have to be put in place. But I do feel like it would make it difficult for anybody to do their job. We don't want somebody that has to bend to whoever is president of the United States, because they do bridge other presidencies.
It's like you saw in and I forget what department it is. I don't think it's the Labor Department, but whoever handles the, compiling the reports and statistics on Labor Department issues and financial issues, how when the numbers didn't jibe with what Trump wanted to see, they had the person responsible for filing the report axed.
Yeah.
I want people to be able to do their job without fear of repercussion. That cracky nuddle-doodle in the White House is going to come down and fire you because you didn't give him the information he wants, or you didn't yes man him enough. I don't want the Federal Reserve Board to be scared that, the president is coming after them for a trumped up mortgage fraud. Doesn't that fit?
Right.
Charge. I don't want that. And so we have to consider now something we never had to consider before, really, because most other presidents understood the way that our system works, were respectful of it, and wanted the system to function. This president doesn't want to do that. So now we have to account for the fact that we could have a crazy person in the White House like this. And so we have to go back and we have to go, okay, how can we protect the systems and functions of American government in case somebody like this gets in office again? And the Supreme Court, instead of trying to help America succeed, just shot us in the foot.
Exactly.
That's how it feels.
Tammy has a great point. So realistically, how does the president take individual responsibility for 300 agencies that he has no expertise in? Most are very specialized. Some are science-based, for example. And we know Donald Trump is very uneducated. And this, I love how that John Yoo guy that we just heard from was talking about how, the founding fathers didn't anticipate it, all these agencies. It should always be accountable to the voters because of the president. Well, if the founding fathers didn't think that there would be 300 agencies, and this was something that the Supreme Court kept in mind, then why would they give it to the president? Like, obviously, these agencies should be independent. And when you say independent, it means independent of politics. And if there is anyone that is the poster person, and I'm going to say man because it's always been a man, of politics, it is literally the president of the United States. He is either a Democratic or a Republican president. He works with his party. He has a platform that aligns with his party. He is political. And so to say, we should leave our entire economy up to the president who might be there for 4 to 8 years, that is not the consistency that we expect for someone like the Federal Reserve Chairman. The reason why they are independent, similar to the Supreme Court, by the way, is so that the pressure of politics and that divide is taken out of the equation and they can make the most educated decision for the best of the country, not for the best of the party. But when their boss is the head of a political party, then it becomes politicized. And it drives me nuts that the U.S. Supreme Court really didn't think that they understood that. And they know damn well. They know damn well that while the founding fathers didn't expect 300 independent agencies, they sure as shit didn't want to give the president this much power over everything. It's mind-boggling that they don't know the difference.
I will say about John Yoo, who we just heard from, he was born in South Korea, interestingly. And he's the one that wrote the torture memos that made a case for things like waterboarding and other torture type things after September 11th.
Oh, Jesus. Great.
So, I don't necessarily respect what John Yoo has to say. I know he's a learned legal scholar.
Expert, yes.
But he wrote that legal guidance on interrogation and that was rescinded by President Obama. So,
Of course. And he's on Fox News. So they were giving kind of the conservative viewpoint on all of this, of course.
So I disagree with him on a number of things. I feel like if you look at who Trump has put in place, he doesn't have expertise over the military. He's, got out of serving in the military. Yeah. And then he puts Pete Hegseth in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the heads of agencies, the FBI,
incompetent,
national intelligence, like incompetent across the board. So do I trust him to take responsibility and put good people in place in other agencies as well? I don't. I don't trust him to hire and fire people appropriately. Like I said, we have to come up with some safeguards in case this ever happens to us again. It's going to take us a while to recover from all of this. We still have how many years we have left of this guy? 2.5, 3? What are we down to now? And think of all the, how he could gut other agencies to do what he wants or disband them completely. This is a bad ruling, and we've got to fix it in some way when we get out of this, when we come through the other side of these Trump years.
Absolutely. And again, it's going to be interesting, for the lack of a better word, to see how this election goes. Yeah. Because again, the decisions that are made now are going to have consequences for years to come. A la, what's happening with media in general, right? Like our First Amendment, media, the merging of large media companies. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but ABC is doing what CBS was too pussy to do, and they're fighting Donald Trump on their attacks on their station. If you don't know The View, which everybody knows The View, it's a target of the FCC, who is saying they don't fall under the news umbrella anymore, and so they don't have those protections. And they're threatening ABC licenses. ABC7 has put something on their website, ABC as well. Mm-hmm. You can just Google ABC FCC, and there is a link. You have until July 6th to share your thoughts with the FCC. Not like he gives a shit. But my point in saying this is we have seen the erosion of the First Amendment under this presidency and under this FCC. And now this FCC chairman is under the umbrella and order of Donald Trump, not like he wasn't already, but it's scary. It's absolutely scary. And I know I'm going to show my political bias here, but a Democratic president would never do. And I know some people are like, well, what about Fox News and all the lawsuits? Fox News was found in a court of law of lying to the American people. There is a difference between flat out lying and a systematic storyline that was a lie about the election and making mistakes on air and owning up to them. There's a huge difference between getting stories wrong, right? And then having to do retractions, which media has been doing since the dawn of time, and actually carrying a false narrative that you knew was a lie over and over and over again. There is a huge difference. That's why Fox News has been fined. That's why Fox News is not considered a news agency. But again, if it's under a president that's not, in my opinion, a Democratic president, because we wouldn't do that, and it's just going to go after it and pull licenses because they have so much power. Donald Trump has the thinnest skin ever. You say anything he doesn't like, he's going to tell Brendan Carr to pull their license, or at least threaten to, which would be self-censorship, which is what CBS did. And ABC is fighting against it. So again, if you want to throw your support behind ABC, I would urge you to go online, find the link to put your comments into the FCC. Again, not like they care, but at least to get it down on record that this is not what they need to, that this is not what should be done. That news agencies should have the freedom to report on the things, even if the president of the United States doesn't like it. It's not for him to like. It is for him to just hear and react accordingly, but not to censor. That is just wrong in so many different levels. And that is one of the huge consequences, I think, of this presidency, is the fear of God that's gone into these news organizations. We've talked about, KCBS and honestly, the shameful actions of their news director, who, instead of standing behind the First Amendment and their reporters and anchors, bent the knee.
Yep.
Plain and simple. and it's total bullshit. So, yeah, I'm hopeful that the damage won't be permanent, but I am scared for the First Amendment.
Did you see the apology that Maria Bartiromo had to make
No, what?
recently? There was a misstatement on her Fox News business show. And I think in the past, they would never have apologized because it's Fox and, they're in the
But they
business
have
of
to now.
peddling lies. But that what happened to them where they had to pay gazillions of dollars for peddling lies and falsehoods on purpose has led to them being a little more scared and careful about things. Here she is.
Guest on this program back on May 11th and discussed the ongoing controversy surrounding his planned data center project in Utah. Now, he made certain claims relating to the opponents of that project. Mr. O'Leary has now corrected the record and explained that he has no evidence that the Alliance for a Better Utah, Elevate Strategies, Josh Cantor, Taylor Knuth, or Gabrielle Finlayson are funded by China or the Chinese Communist Party. Fox News Media is likely likewise aware of no evidence that they are funded by or acting at the direction of or in coordination with Chinese interests in opposing Kevin O'Leary's project. Fox News Media apologizes for the error. We'll be right back.
Let's just do a 30-minute mea culpa.
The error.
Right. They're going to do a 30-second mea culpa after a probably 5-minute interview, right? Yep. What do you think Fox News viewers are going to remember or even catch? Right? They don't give a shit. That's just to cover their ass, right?
Listen, at least they're making the statement, and it was publicized. They apparently apologized so infrequently that it becomes big news when they have to make some kind of retraction. It was about AI centers in Utah being funded by the Chinese government. Not true. They have no proof. And the guy went on to Fox News and was saying that it was true and it wasn't true, and they had to say no, it's not.
Well, Jeanine Pirro, who's a judge, which I'm putting in major freaking quotes, and also a commentator on Fox News, I feel like she's a heartbeat away from a lawsuit. She is coming out and accusing that former Olympian of being responsible for the damage to the reflecting pool. And I mean, this is the problem with these commentators. They state things as facts. Any good journalist knows if you're going to make a statement, at least put allegedly in front of it. I mean, my God, right? But no, she's out there. She's like, he damaged it. He did all. The guy touched the liner. You could see the video. He went in, he put his hand in the water and wanted to feel the liner. And there was a piece floating and he touched it. That's it. That's what. And now they're claiming this gentleman is responsible for it. That is, I would sue her ass so quick. Be like,
and I understand that isn't she the prosecutor? So she does have to come down in that direction. But the problem is that they've tried to file so many bogus cases against people that, Trump wants the charges filed. So they file it, even though there's absolutely no case. And then they end up looking like a bunch of fools and bumbling idiots when the case is kicked out of court, because of course there's no there, right?
Yeah, but you can't just go on national television and say somebody did do something and smear their name. Like, she's acting as judge, jury, and executioner with this dude. He's a U.S. Olympian, for God's sake. I would be like, the tarnishment on my name, being associated with this asinine story, I would sue her ass. I'd sue Fox News. I demand a retraction. The guy literally just touched the side of the wall. I mean, they are so desperate, again, to find any explanation before their own undoing. I don't know, might have to do with you didn't bid out the contract, that the materials weren't right, that the color was wrong, that you drove on it, that you put hydrogen peroxide in the water. Like, there are so many things that you could look at before somebody cut a 300-foot slice into the reflecting pool and nobody noticed until now. Like, it is so dumb. It's mind-boggling, the load of horse shit they shovel each day into the American mouth, and you're supposed to just eat it. Like, it's insane. And this, I can't wait, Kim McAllister, for the effing narrative that comes about this Great American State Fair not attended thing. Like, they are trying to sell it as it's this packed house. Now, let me be fair. I do understand the lawn is huge, right? But there there aren't people there. Like, not the amount of people that you would expect on 113 degree day.
No.
Surrounded by, I don't know, Temu buildings and a fake ass arch and all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean?
Number one, it's hot, right?
It's so hot. And there's no air conditioning in the buildings because they're too effing cheap to put any in there.
And it's not for everybody. It isn't. It's not like celebrations in the past where, the entire nation came together to celebrate, like on July 4th. Whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, a member of the Green Party, or you're one of those people that just says, politics isn't for me, you're still an American. And, many of us put the flag up.
Of course.
And celebrate July 4th and the independence of our country and that we have an America. And that goes beyond politics. But this doesn't. This seems like a very one-sided thing. It's not,
and that's why people don't want to be involved in it. That's why they can't get any celebrities to go.
No, it's not for you, and it's not for me. It's for MAGA. It's like a big MAGA rally, and that's really disappointing that they turned it into that. You knew they were going to do that when there was already a congressional panel or group. It's not America 250. One of them is called America 250, and the other one's called something else 250. And Congress already had this group together. And then in comes Trump, and he decides that he's going to have his own group, his own America 250 group. And so now they're putting on these competing events. But the Trump events, they're not for everyone.
No,
they really aren't.
They aren't.
And they've become a reflection of him, which is why it ends up being funny that there's no one at the Well,
if you go in, there's Truth Social booths and there's, Charlie Kirk booths or whatever I forget what's the name of his group.
Turning Point.
Yeah, there's Turning Point. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not as if he's trying to be inclusive, right? He's obviously pushing a Republican narrative. And that's why people don't want to be involved, because the minute you show up, and my husband was saying this just the other night, and he says exactly what you were saying, Kim. He's like, it's so disappointing that from the White House, what should be, 250 years is something because we love these round numbers, right? It is a momentous thing, and we can't celebrate it in Washington because it's ridiculous. And again, it's not a real estate fair. I was reading this article. It's like the Ferris wheel is the only ride. Mm-hmm. There's not like, corn dog booths and things like that. It's just all those little fake ass buildings. They just have Trump shit in it. Did you see the AI photo that was on Facebook that somebody shared where it was like a packed lawn? There were parasailers. There were all sorts of it was a freaking Donald Trump wet dream that he would hope to see, but it's never going to happen. That lawn will be green on the 4th of July. And if there's people on there, they were likely paid to be there.
There's really not very many people there. No.
And again, I will say this. Yes, it's hot. But you know what? Who showed up in Chicago for the opening of the Obama Center? Everybody. Everybody showed up in Chicago. You know what I mean? And Southside Chicago. Not trying to hate on, but they literally put their library in a low income South Side of Chicago area to be inclusive. And when you walk through it, go ahead. You're not going to see stuff that's going to divide people unless you're against, I don't know, equal rights and things like that. But Obama was able to get everyone and their mother to Chicago. Donald Trump can't get anybody.
This place should be packed. 250 years of American independence. Think of all the tourists that head to Washington, D.C. anyway.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
We know our kids were after 8th grade, went on the Washington, D.C. trips.
Yep.
This place should be packed.
Yeah.
Full of kids looking at all the state, the booths by state about what they represent. There's nobody there.
There's nobody there. And Donald Trump, while I think his ego cares, you know what I mean? I really do think that Donald Trump in the back of his mind is saying, who gives a shit? I think his ego would love it. But at the same time, I'm sure you guys have seen the financial disclosure reports. This guy is cleaning up money-wise off this presidency. So on one hand, he would love to see everybody there. And that would he's going to believe everyone's there anyway. In his mind, The grass is filled with people. In his mind, everyone wants to see him. It is just say what you believe and want to believe, and who cares that it's not actually true.
Just like when he said he had the most people at his original inauguration ever.
Exactly. Most people
there
ever.
So many people. They couldn't all fit in the picture. There were so many people. There was so many more people than Obama. Oh, no. And it was all a load of crap.
Yeah, exactly.
And ridiculous that he even cared to get up and say that. Right.
I mean, it's him. He'll say anything that he wants to be true. And those buildings are fake. Those buildings are fake. There's like sheets over them. It's not, it is the biggest joke of a great American state fair that there ever has been. And it's him. And everyone's going to be like fake media, mainstream media. Conservative media is the media. Just to let everybody know, when they say, oh, it's the mainstream media that lies to the American people, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Media is owned by conservatives. It just is. So stop that narrative. And then this fake ass arch.
It's supposed to be a replica of the arch did Trump
that he has planned
to build, and it was slapped together so quickly and so shoddily. It's not like, the great state fairs of old where these monuments are left behind, like the Palace of Fine Arts, where they're like actual works of art. This thing was put together so quickly. I saw a picture of today of the glue used to put it together seeping through.
And it's on like stilt. It's not even touching the ground.
There's these big yellow streaks of glue that are puffing through.
So tacky.
I mean, the whole thing is tacky and quickly, hastily thrown together, and whatever.
It's not like he wasn't talking about it forever, but the whole thing screams, I'm just giving payouts to people that support me, right? Like from everything from the reflecting pool with the no bid to everything else he wants to do, probably that stupid arch. He's just giving his friends money. That's it. So he can continue to make money.
And don't even get me started on North Carolina. I mean, I guess the one thing you can say with them throwing this flag up is that at least they're being honest. At least they're telling you who the state fair is for, because it's not for most of us, and that's just gross.
Yeah. Louise, thanks for the $5 donation. We really appreciate you.
Thanks, Louise.
Wouldn't it be funny if the Freedom 250 grift with tons of no bid contracts ends up being way more than the birth tourism, zero outrage? You know what? Great point. Great point, Louise. And again, thank you so much for the donation. Again, and people were saying it earlier when we were talking about it, like it's a wag the dog situation. He just inundates us with so much bullshit that it's hard. The guy lies when his lips are moving. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't even care. They don't even care that they're lying. And you can't call him on everything because then he would have to shut up. Like it's crazy. I still can't believe this guy's the president of the United States. I'm so disappointed in people that voted for him.
Look how low attendance is here. Look at that. I mean, there's like wow.
I mean, come on. Forrest Gump had more people than that. I'm just saying. I know it's not the reflecting pool. But yeah, it's so, and it's tacky. I think people that go there are like, yeah, don't come. It's kind of lame. But no, Trump supporters aren't going to say that.
Wow.
But yeah, that's what it is. Now, again, let's wait until the 4th of July. I could imagine him paying hella people of our tax dollars to show the hell up. But yeah, that's embarrassing. And I'm sorry. I know he loves to compare to Barack Obama because Barack Obama owns like most of the space in his brain. But if Obama put it on, it would have been awesome. I'm sorry. There would have been concerts on both ends, big screens so people can get in. Like it would have been the World Cup, 4th of July style. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But Donald Trump sucks. Who wants to go to Donald Trump's party? Not me. San Francisco knows how to do expositions. 1915 Palace of Fine Arts still standing. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. I had my engagement photos there.
Oh, that's awesome. I would love to see those.
Oh,
Hi, Nugget.
Shut up.
Yeah, that is truly embarrassing. But that's, you know what, okay, perhaps this can give us hope. Because if this is any indication of people turning out for Trump, right? Then maybe we're headed for a place where this midterm election,
I hope so,
really does turn the tides, not only in the House, but also the Senate. I saw a recent poll saying that, estimating the chances of flipping the Senate blue.
Right.
According to this poll, it was, and I have to go back and tell you what it was. I'll mention that in a minute. I'll go back and do the research. But the poll said it was like 43% chance.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I mean, okay.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. 43%. And with every passing day, with every dumb decision that he makes, with every extra dollar he costs for ridiculous wars, and, every more divisive decision he makes that we can see through, that tears us apart instead of pushes us together, hopefully the crowds that are seen here will dwindle further and increase our chances even more. Maybe this is the silver lining of all of this.
I really, really hope that you're right. I do, when that financial disclosure report came out, the Wall Street Journal report, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. I mean, the amount of money that Trump and his family have made on crypto and all sorts of things is insane and shouldn't be happening. I was watching an interview, and I apologize, I don't have the clip for it, but they were asking MAGA supporters, like, what do you think about this? And there was one gentleman that was like, this is awful. Like, he's like, this is not what I elected him to do. I wish he would just go back to just focusing on being president for the people instead of making money. It is so obvious, the grift. I mean, everything from his meme coins, right, to everything, like the watches and the shoes, and what the f- is he doing? And people are like, and I will always say it again, Kelly, all of them, he's the most transparent president ever. Yes, he's telling you when he's grifting you, and people just don't seem to give a shit. It's like, just because you're telling me that you're stealing money out of my pocket doesn't make you a good person. It just makes you honest about stealing from me. And I wish people would care. I think a lot of Sal saying even Megyn Kelly sees the grift now. Megyn Kelly sucks balls, but I think a lot of commentators are seeing it because it's hard to go back, right? Like, you're calling all this stuff out and then he's doing it. Moscow Mitch is probably a heartbeat away from going. I don't wish death on anybody, but if you haven't heard the news, Mitch McConnell was found like unconscious not too long ago. So he's on his last legs. I blame Mitch McConnell for a lot of the problems within our government. Over and over and over again, Mitch McConnell is the source of so many of our problems. There's a list of people, but he is on that. Again, I never wish death on anybody. I just wish people would go away, as ever God wants to make happen. But I will say, having somebody else mentioned having Trump go away on Independence Day would be fitting because it'd be our independence from him.
Happy birthday, America.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson, MTG, there's a bunch of people that have jumped ship. It's not enough. It's not enough. You know when I will say pigs have flown for MAGA to like break away from Trump?
Yeah.
When my dad burns his Make America Great Again hat. If my father no longer becomes a Trump supporter, we have finally broken through. You know what I mean? So I will let you guys know that day. It has not happened yet.
What does he think about the
I don't talk politics with my father. No.
Does he? You haven't talked to him about the war in Iran?
I can't talk to my father about politics, period. So I just know that every time I go over, and his Make America Great Again hat is sitting right there. So until that's in ashes, I'll just say not all MAGA has been persuaded to dump Trump, as they say. Sandy says, didn't Tucker go against Trump once before? I don't trust him that really he's no longer MAGA. I think Tucker Carlson, I think it's mixed. I think that he's gotten a lot of hate over Israel and the war and everything like that. I also think he needs attention, right? It's just like any other commentator. You do when you say things that bring you attention. We're still talking about Tucker Carlson because Tucker Carlson's no longer MAGA. So,
yeah. Someone said he's not a Democrat or a third party candidate or whatever new party he wants to create. He's an opportunist.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So we'll see what happens on the 4th of July. Do you have any fun plans for the 4th of July, Kim McAllister?
My family does this thing where everyone gets doled. We all live in the same town.
Right.
So everyone gets doled out a holiday. And my holiday is the 4th of July because I have the pool. It's an old pool. from
How
the,
hot is it going to be this weekend in Petaluma?
I don't know, but the pool,
look it
the
up. Go ahead.
filter is broken. The pool looks like
How
a
are you not
swamp.
prepared for your holiday, my friend?
I'm not prepared for my holiday. So I told my family, listen, you guys can come over.
It's going to be 79, by the way. That's perfect pool weather.
Great. It's not going to be a swimming party. It's just going to be we're going to barbecue and hang out and chill. That's all. I know. Boo to me. I know.
Boo to you. How do you not get the pool ready for your holiday, my friend? That's why you're chosen for it. Like
I know. We had the algae problem that Trump is having.
It's contagious. Is
It's
that what you're
contagious.
saying?
Yeah,
It's totally
it's a
contagious.
United States algae issue. That's what it is.
Yeah. So my husband can't make up his mind about what we're doing. We were possibly going to go to a friend's house to go swimming. He also possibly wants to ride our bicycles in one of the parades, either here or in Morgan Hill. I think here, not in Morgan. I don't know. And I was like, I don't know. Can we just call it the day of? You know what I mean? Like, I just want to relax. I really do. I want to enjoy it. At first, he wanted to go to San Francisco to see the fireworks. I'm like, it's always a crapshoot in San Francisco on whether or not you're going to be able to see the fireworks. So
it's true.
I don't want to do that necessarily. And I don't want to drive and I don't want to be, anything like that. But I do want to celebrate. It is, again, to go back to it, it's a huge anniversary for America. We should go all out. But I'm the American that believes in, equal rights for all, abortions are healthcare, those sorts of things, right? Libraries are important, things like that. That's the kind of American I am. I'm not the other kind of American. So I'll be celebrating that.
So this poll, by the way, that I told you I would let you know, it was a Times Siena poll in case anybody is looking for it. And what they said was there are 6 Senate battleground states where there's an opening for Democrats to slip through.
Let's do it, people. Let's do it.
And they say the poll mentions that it's largely Trump's fault, that Democrats do face an uphill battle to win control of the Senate, but they are now within striking distance of enough Republican-held seats to put the majority in play this fall.
Wow.
And Republicans currently hold 53 seats, so Democrats need to flip 4 of them and hold on to their own seats, some of which are vulnerable as well. But the 6 states seen as Democrats' best pickup opportunities, Alaska, Iowa, Maine, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. They say if the election were held today, Republicans would hold on to enough of those races to keep the majority. Trump carried 5 of 6 of those states in 2024, won by an average of 8 points in those states, but Democrats hold a slim lead in Maine, stronger one in North Carolina. Republicans are just slightly ahead in Alaska, Iowa, and Ohio. Texas is tied. So there's some.
Texas is the one I'm watching. I am watching Texas with Tallarico.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic. I would never bet on it. I'm hopeful. God, if we could get Tallarico in there.
Yeah, I want to hear him. I want him to speak and say the good things for the next few years, right?
I want him, you know what I want in all honesty? I want him to be, the fish that talks to other fish. I want him to be the person that can get through to Texans and be like, calm the fucking down. Nobody's trying to kill you just because they may be an immigrant or, there's a reason why the 10 Commandments should not be in classrooms, even though, I consider myself a Christian. I want someone to be able to speak the language of Texans.
Yeah.
That they're not going to listen to a Californian. You know what I mean? They're not going to listen to some West Coast liberal politician, but they will listen to their own. And that's what I want to see. And then I hope that spreads, right? Like, I feel like Tallarico, Buttigieg, they're all cut from the same kind of cloth where we're not trying to scare you or use this extremist language. We're just talking to you as a human, as an American, as someone that does believe in God or does believe in family or fill in the blank. And bring down the political discourse to actually have a conversation. It would be so refreshing. It would just be so refreshing. So I'm optimistic. And it's so funny because they always try to go after Tallarico with like the most nonsensical like attacks ever. And he's like, yeah, no. Like they were trying to, he doesn't wear a cowboy hat or something. He doesn't ride horse. I don't know what the hell they were saying. And Tallarico's like, that is really stupid.
They're trying the things that they're trying to get him on.
Like he's not a man. Like what the hell are you talking about?
On one hand, they say he's not a man, and they're making fun of him because they say he's effeminate or that he must be gay or whatever else. On the other hand, right, there was a story that he was watching pornography. Yeah. So what is it? Is he like a dirty scoundrel porn watching dude, or is he too effeminate and not manly enough for you? You can't decide how to attack him. So you're just coming at it from everything.
Oh, yeah. They're so scared. They are. I think that they're truly scared that Tallarico, because if Tallarico wins Texas, I mean, the Dems can just totally campaign on that. Like turning Texas, at least one seat blue, is crazy talk. Like nobody would expect that to happen. But I do think you have to find the right person. And again, I know you guys think I'm delusional, and I just put it in the comments that I am. I still think Pete Buttigieg is a good candidate for president. I just do. I think he's able to speak that Midwest talk. Yes, he's a gay man, but so was Ellen. And Ellen was like #1 talk show host forever. So daytime talk show host forever. And she was gay, and people treated it like that's the person that I know that's gay. So maybe it'll be your president of the United States and people can just get over it, because Pete Buttigieg is amazing. And I think less of a controversial candidate than someone like Gavin Newsom or even AOC, who I also love. So we'll see. We'll see what happens after November. It's coming up so quickly. I can't even believe, Kim, that it's almost July 4th. Like we're halfway through the year. It boggles my mind. Like it's the longest, shortest time. That was a podcast I used to listen to as a mom. It was about parenting, but it is like the longest, shortest time. Like everything seems to be happening so quickly, especially Supreme Court rulings, this, like what's happening? But then it's like, can we get there already? Can we get there already? Can we get there already? So we'll see. We'll absolutely see. Okay, let's lighten it up. We have about 15 minutes left of the show. I mentioned it earlier about the World Cup. The men's team has moved on. Very disappointed in last week. I was talking about how I'm so proud of San Jose, and that San Jose has been getting so many headlines about being the place in the Bay Area to watch the World Cup. Well, there's a bunch of videos out there of the last, and I think it was the Mexico game. It was last Mexico game where it was so packed. So now, if you don't know how it works because you don't live in San Jose, they do ask people. It's free to go to San Pedro Square, which is the place, right? The entertainment hub. They ask you to RSVP so that they could plan for police and everything else. It's still free to get in. They were expecting, I think the number was around, I'm just going to throw out numbers. I don't know if these are correct. Let's say like 8,000 people, and like 25,000 showed up, something like that. Like it was an insane number of people that they weren't planning for. And there's fences. So when they're at capacity, they put up these fences, and a bunch of people tore down the fence and hopped the fence and started going in. Okay. And so now there's all of these videos about how, oh my God, this is why San Jose can't have nice things. Blah, 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 blah. And what pissed me off about the whole thing was this was just one aspect of what I would consider a very successful and continues to be a successful display of how San Jose can do big events. Now, San Pedro Square went to capacity. They have extended it, like I mentioned last week, like a block in each direction. They're opening up all these other places, like in San Jose and Santa Clara, are offering their own watch parties to kind of disperse the whole thing. But I think when you advertise that one area is the place, it's going to draw people from out of town. So it's not like San Jose people are doing this. And honestly, if you look at the videos, not to hate on my younger folks, but it's a bunch of hooligan kids, like teenagers or maybe 20 somethings, like trying to get in, being ridiculous and just ruining it for everyone. But I still give San Jose big kudos for how they've handled these watch parties. I mean, look at that. Look at that. I mean, that's not even counting the fact that it was at Levi's, right? There was, when I woke up on yesterday, You couldn't change the channel on local news without having somebody broadcasting from downtown San Jose. I don't know, it warmed my heart because normally it's San Francisco or, you know what I mean? Like that's the place to be, or it's actually at Levi Stadium. They weren't even at Levi Stadium. I mean, yeah, they had the you know, these are the crowds walking in and stuff like that, but it was just shots like this.
Yeah.
So to my Mayor Matt Mahan, and to others, keep it up. Like, honestly, I think I don't want people, they're like, why don't they have it at like Cesar Chavez Plaza or whatever that's open? The reason why is one, San Pedro Square is a designated entertainment hub where cars are not permitted through. And two, when you have it at a park, there's permits. You need to bring in bathrooms and porta potties, although they do have porta potties out there, not that sort of thing. But the local businesses succeed. If you have it in a park, no local businesses will get, you know, the bump as much as this. And then you have to bring in food trucks and other people, and then it costs money. And then you have to, you know, make sure that the ROI on it works. This is what people want to see. This is what people want. They want to be all together. So again, I love it. I love seeing the pictures. I love seeing people cheer. I did not like seeing, you know, this small group of people trying to ruin it for everyone. But I think when the next game on Monday, I'm sure they'll have even more security down there trying to make sure that the people don't break those walls through. But it's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. Now, we did not go. I was tempted to go and watch yesterday, but not down there. They opened up another plaza on like Barack Obama Boulevard, which is a little further down by the SAP Center in San Jose. We were tempted to go there. They did have food trucks, and it was more along that sort of thing. But yeah, maybe on Monday. I know they're going to have another huge watch party when USA is in the tournament again. So we will see. I haven't really watched much of it.
I think it's exciting for San Jose, and it's exciting for the Bay Area to have a presence in this.
Exactly. And getting a lot of headlines. Like anytime they do the montages of, you know, celebrations around the world, San Jose is in it. San Jose is in it. Not San Francisco. San Jose is. And yes, I'm biased. It's my hometown. Born and raised here, baby. I'm so freaking happy about it. So maybe we'll see it on Monday. The other thing I'm seeing is so much partying, and people are like, I can't seem to catch a break. So it's like Mexico's in it, then USA is in it, then tonight's Thirsty Thursday, and then tomorrow there's a ton of games, and then the 4th of July, and then it's like this, and it's like, I just can't stop. You know what I mean? It's constant partying. And you know what? I'll say this. Dealing with this presidency and coming up on the 250th anniversary, I'm all for it as long as people are safe and, you know, not driving drunk or anything like that. Exactly. The World Cup is bringing so much joy.
So many people there that they're watching from the parking garages.
Oh, yeah. And it's like several floors. Oh, yeah. When I went there, when we were there for Viva Calle, I parked my car in that parking garage, which is also what's so amazing about it. Like, one side's a parking garage, the other side is just bars and restaurants. That's what that strip of San Pedro Square is. And it's awesome. They're like, oh, they're stopping people from watching from the parking garage. My ass. You know what they also did? Some people door dashed. I'm not even kidding, a television to watch it inside the parking garage.
Oh, how
I think this was the
that?
First Mexico game. Hilarious. Like
they're up on the 3rd floor and the 2nd floor and the ground floor, and they're pouring out of the garage. This is crazy.
It's absolutely
and you know
crazy.
what? It's a lot more people than at the America 250 fair.
That
I will say that
exactly.
I was reading an article saying, like, okay, if you're going to give credit for all of these events and for, you know, bringing the soccer matches to America and what have you, do you have to then give Trump credit for this relatively smooth World Soccer Cup America event? Like, was it a good idea that was it Trump's idea to have it here? Or was it?
Well, we were chosen as one of the host cities by FIFA.
When was that? Was that pre-Trump?
I don't know. FIFA's head is like a Trump supporter, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But so was Canada, right? And like, there's a bunch of countries that were chosen, and I think that that's excellent. A lot of people are hoping that, not that we don't win, but like, it'd be awesome if Mexico won, because apparently Donald Trump, FIFA's president, said Donald Trump will be handing over the trophy for whoever wins the World Cup to the team. And when I know exactly, like, do I have to? Do I have to take it from him? Does he have to touch everything? I bet he's going to get a miniature one. You know what I mean? It's like, and here's one for you, Donald Trump, because you need a participation trophy in life. Yeah. I mean, Okay, I'll say this. It's happening under his watch, but I give more praise to the host cities that put in the work and the planning and everything else.
Yeah.
Because in all honesty, we also have the freaking Olympics coming up as well. Like California is just off the hook this year. Like it is just doing so much. So knock on wood, everything continues to go well. There's always going to be issues. I'm not going to say everything's going to be 100% correct, but no, I'd much rather give the host cities credit than I will ever give Donald Trump. Absolutely.
So the U.S. was awarded the World Cup with Canada and Mexico jointly, and the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles through formal votes and bid campaigns carried out years before Trump's most recent term. Trump has both claimed credit and taken executive actions to shape federal involvement in preparing for these events. Reporting shows he played a supportive role, but he did not unilaterally get these tournaments for the United States. Exactly. And I would say if he was in charge of these World Cup matches and putting his, his traditional group of dumbasses in charge, it wouldn't have gone as smoothly as it's going now.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I just want to remind everybody that if we happen to win, which again would be amazing, the women have won the World Cup many times in recent years. You're going to hear a lot of statistics about how long it's been since the U.S. has won the World Cup. The men have won the World Cup. Just going to put that out there, because if you don't remember, Megan Rapinoe with her arms raised, iconic games for the women. And dude, like the women have won the World Cup many, I think 4 times in recent years. So I don't know if 4 is right, but I feel like it's something like that. Or at least been far in it.
Yeah, he likes to take credit for all of it. Look
Exactly. How Trump sees the world. He's going to take credit for everything. You know what I mean? That's just what he does. Okay, I have one more thing to talk about, just because I have the funny audio and I just think it's hilarious. Did you guys see that Russian couple that climbed to the top of the Empire State Building spire?
Awesome.
Dressed as bats.
Not awesome,
Batwoman.
but like awesome
hilarious
in the traditional sense of the word, and scary and like, wow.
I can't imagine. You know what also? Cops had to go up there and get them and arrest them, which I found to be like, God, does this have to be my job today? I will jump out of an airplane. I hate climbing ladders, if that makes sense. Like, it freaks me out to climb too high of a ladder. I get really scared, but I'll jump out of an airplane. I guess that's no problem. Or like jump off rocks and cliffs and things like that. But ladders freak me out. So if I had to be the cop that had to go get this couple off, no way. But mind you, New York right now has all of this crap happening, right? They have Taylor Swift's freaking wedding coming up around Madison Square Garden that's just making traffic a mess. They have this heat wave going on. Go ahead. What?
By the way, did you hear that Travis and Kelsey and Taylor Swift donated $26 million to various charities and
food banks and things like that? Yes,
things around this area, because they know people are going to be like, look at how much money she spent on a wedding. No, look how much she gave away.
Exactly.
Right?
And I also heard that they're actually already married, that they did it in a tiny ceremony already. So,
oh really? I didn't hear
that. Actually doesn't surprise me. I'd be really surprised if Taylor Swift did it all. But anyways, New York is doing all kinds of crap right now. So this was the last thing they needed. So this audio that I'm going to play for you cracked me up. So this is audio between, I believe, 2 NYPD police officers conveying what was going on with this couple that, again, and you really just have to listen to it. I know it's not very big, about what's going on with this couple that climbed to the top of the Empire State Building.
What's all the hoopla going on over there?
2 geniuses climbed to the top of the Empire State Building, the top of the spire.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's
awesome. It's a little hot for that, isn't it?
Just the beginning of this week.
It's not some worker changing a light, is it?
Nah, it's a male, female, dressed in black. They had some flag they were waving when they were up at the top. And he just proposed to her.
Yeah, what's all the hoopla going on over
I
there?
just love it because it's like this is the last thing we need this weekend is some yahoos up on the Empire State Building. So funny.
Some flag up there. Isn't
and,
it a little hot
and he
for that?
proposed. And he proposed.
What's the hoopla going on?
I know. It was just so freaking. And I just love the accents. Anyways, congratulations to them. Of course, they're influencers that have a Netflix special about climbing to the tops of shit. So Obviously, they did it
They're
for
facing
attention.
all kinds of charges.
Yeah, they don't
though.
give a They're getting attention. They're going to put it in their next Netflix special. Like
That's
they
right.
care. You know what I mean? So no.
Should we end the show with a bit of hypocrisy, or do you not want to do this?
Let's end it with some hypocrisy.
This is a montage of Trump talking about all the times presidents have benefited from the presidency. This is the guy that just made $2 billion off the presidency.
Oh my God.
And said it was in a blind trust when really his sons are in charge of it, right?
Oh, yes. Let's go.
Hillary Clinton has perfected the politics of personal profit. As Vice President
What?
Joe Biden flew his son Hunter around the world on Air Force Two, sucking up money like a vacuum cleaner.
For years, Trump and his family have slammed Hunter Biden, claiming he profited from his father's position. Now, Trump's family seems to be doing just that. Take, for example, Eric and Don Jr. So you see them standing right there behind the president. This was before boarding the new Air Force One. According to the New York Times, they now stand to profit from $1 billion mining deal between Trump and Kazakhstan, the very same people who were calling out Hunter Biden.
Hillary Clinton has perfected the politics of.
That's all I wanted to show you.
That is so typical. Yeah, he's making money hand over fist, and he will continue to do so. And that's why I just don't think he gives that much of a shit. But that's Donald Trump for you people. That is Donald Trump. Well, you know, we don't profit off of the American people, but we do profit off of this show for anybody that wants to support us. So let's give some thank yous. And again, if you want to support the Nikki Maduro show with Bay Area's #1 audiocaster, Kim McAllister, there are many ways for you to do that. They're all in the show notes. PayPal, which doesn't take a cut, so we love it. Patreon, if you want to become a monthly subscriber and not even think about it every month, that would be awesome. And of course, people that donate during live on the show, and even you can donate even if the show is not live. Like Cindy, who gave us $10. Thank you so much, Cindy.
Thank you.
And then Harry coming in with a $5 donation. Thank you so much, Harry.
Thank you.
Louise coming in with a $5 donation, not once, but twice. Thank you, you guys. And we appreciate it because we can't do the show without you. We appreciate your support. So again, if you want to support the show, please look in the show notes, give us a thumbs up, share the show with your friend, and tell them to join us live Thursday, 5 o'clock Pacific, because it's a damn good time. And where else besides her show and Mark Thompson's show do you get to interact with Bay Area's #1 audiocaster of the year, the first one ever, Kim McAllister, my people.
And it
all right.
The people that voted that worked really hard for that. So thank you, everyone who voted.
You worked very hard for that, and it's very much deserved. All right. We will be here next Thursday, again, 5 o'clock. We love you guys. Take care of each other. Have a very happy 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. 250 years. Let's hope and pray we make it another 250. All right.
I would argue, fly the flag.
Fly the flag, baby.
Don't be afraid to fly the flag. Take it
Even
back.
if it's your freak flag, just fly it high. You know what I mean?
It's our flag. It's not
Exactly.
a MAGA flag. It's our flag. So fly it and be proud of it. And if people think you're MAGA, make sure if you get asked or looked at askance, you stand for what you stand for.
Exactly.
Believe
I'm
in
not
the
a MAGA
Constitution.
American. I'm an American.
I'm a real American that believes in the Constitution. So
Exactly. All right, you guys, we love you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. Miss Brown, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.